Well, we did some bottle hunting last weekend, and it's time to review one of those bottles that I think was a really great find. We're going to review Nulu Toasted Small Batch. It's bourbon finished in toasted barrels, 108 proof, batch 1. So I've never had anything from Nulu before, and I was in this store in East Brunswick, New Jersey, and I saw 3 Nulu expressions, whereas I've never seen any of them on any shelves in New Jersey. One of the reasons I wanted to go to this liquor store, a lot of people said to get really good stuff, check it out, and they did. Certainly stuff that I haven't seen, not everything, but this was one example of that. And what struck me about this one, this was $29.99, so we'll call it $30. There was a single barrel there that was like $69, and there was a regular bourbon that was around the same. This was $29.99, $30. I'm like, is that priced right? I looked at the price. It's correct. I looked it up, and it looks like the history of this is it was originally much higher priced, because that kind of makes sense, especially something that's, double barrel. It's finished in another barrel, and it just didn't make sense it being $29.99 and 108 proof. Just seemed like there was too much into this, but it was in fact what it is. So I'm looking at this like, this $29.99 is a really good deal for what this is. Obviously, we'll see if it was really a good deal when we open it, or maybe there's a reason why it was that cheap, but you keep an open mind. So again, this is Nulu Toasted Small Batch, bourbon finished in toasted barrels, 108 proof, batch 1. It is a small batch. It says on the back, it's a 4 to 6 year MGP bourbon blended. And what it is so it's aged for 4 to 6 years, and is then finished in toasted barrels for anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks. So this is sourced. It is bottled by PCS Distillers, Louisville, Kentucky, but it is distilled by MGP in Indiana. Basically, that's sort of the deal. I think that was pretty much the facts I had on it. I don't have the exact mash bill in this. So we'll see if we can tell from the taste. But again, heard a lot of good things about Nulu. I just haven't seen it, and I'm very intrigued why this was that inexpensive. I think, I always talk about best bangs for the buck. If this is as good as I hope it is, I would consider that $29.99 for 108 proof and something that's finished in another toasted barrel is a pretty good deal. Let's see how it tastes, and if there's a reason why it's that cheap. Okay, one negative. It's got one of these tab openings on the cork, and look at this mess. Look at this mess. Okay, so we have this poured up. That was a fair cork pop, nothing great. But this has a tab. It's kind of like I still say Maker's Mark has the cleanest tab of anyone. This just was like, this is almost more like Knob Creek, because Knob Creek can get messy too, and it just went all over the bar. So hopefully what's in here is better than that opening. In any event, I'm expecting this when I think about something that's finished in a toasted barrel, or just in a toasted barrel. I think of the Elijah Craig toasted, stuff like that, as well as the Penelope toasted. So let's see what we got here. All right, on the nose. Not picking up. I guess the toasted, is going to be more on the taste than the aroma. Not much really here. Kind of light. All right, let's give this a taste. Cheers. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. There is a lot going on the palate here. Clearly a toasted, rich taste. Totally get the toasted flavor. Hits you right away. I kind of like it. It's a very rich taste. I don't know why the first thing that hit me was kind of like maple syrup and pancakes. I'm not quite sure why. Actually, I do, because when I tasted, it's just random thought. When I tasted the Woodford Reserve Double Oak, that's not toasted, but it is a second oak. I remember getting that kind of a taste profile, but there's definitely something from the toasted barrels for sure. I kind of like it. I really like it. This is a nice proof. It's very tasty. When I had the Penelope toasted, I had the marshmallow, so the marshmallow threw it off. It was delicious. But I'd like to actually try the Penelope toasted, see how that compares, maybe even compare it to something like this. But in 2 seconds, I can tell you, this was a good deal. This, to me, already. This drink's well above a 20. This, $30 is a regular. Here's an example. $30 is a regular Elijah Craig 94 proof. Sometimes a little bit more, but around that in New Jersey, give or take. The toasted Elijah Craig is like $54, and it's not as high proof. It's 94, but just giving some kind of examples of things. In terms of price ranges and stuff. This is 108 proof, and the Woodford Reserve Double Oak is more. I think that it doesn't happen that often to me, certainly in New Jersey. But I would say at $29.99, this small batch, 108 proof, bourbon finished in toasted barrels. I think this is a good deal. So very happy with this. Now, what I wanted to do is I didn't just want to jump to the single barrel. I've never tried anything from here. The only time I've really ever done that, where I haven't tried anything from them, and then I go right to, I go from 0 to 60, I go right to the cask strength, was what I just did with the Redwood Empire. I went to the pipe dream cask strength, never had anything underneath it. That ended up working out, secondly, more so on the second try, because the first try was so-so, second try, liked it a lot more when it opened up. But the point I'm trying to say is that, in this case, given the big price difference, I thought it might be better to go with this. This just seemed like a good deal. My instinct said, pick this one up. I'm glad I did. Now, I won't hesitate to get more into, I would even go back to that store and get the single barrel or the regular bourbon. This is good. And to me, this drink's above its price. I really like this. So, I'm going to get more into this, but this is a great first pour from Nulu. Nulu. Who knew? Cheers.